It is Worlds time again, and this year NA's biggest hope, brightest, and shiniest star, Team Liquid, failed to deliver on the international stage. Once again, fans are discouraged. Players once confident are now trying to weather the PR storm, and if you are like many North American fans, you are left wondering, why is NA so noob? Well, this video will explain it to you. As always, do the YouTube thing, like, comment, share, click some bells, and enjoy as I explain to you why NA sucks at League.
No doubt about it, Invictus Gaming.
Despite being the birthplace of League of Legends, North America is not actually that popular of a server. If you were to compare active League of Legends players to just the Europe West server, you will notice that active ranked players more than double the players in North America. If you've played high school or even college sports, you'll notice and understand how a Class A school will often dominate a Class C school purely off of the fact that the talent pool is larger and easier to draw from. Also, North Americans do not like real-time strategy games that much, especially on the PC. Looking recently in the United States at the Fortnite explosion as well as the popularity of console gaming here, it does make sense that there is a lack of representation, at least in the younger gamers. And certainly in the Western world, the masses have, well, other opinions on what the best game is and who their favorite gaming streamers are. Let's just get this out of the way. The new Western gamer does Fortnite dances. These kids will play Apex and whatever the biggest North American streamers tell them to play. Currently, that game, at least to Twitch's most popular broadcasters, is not League of Legends. It is a game that requires patience, learning, and a dedication to the W. These goals are currently at odds with the general culture of the average North American player, as here players seem to play a lot more casually and are more concerned with just having fun. Obviously though, we know how well Fortnite is doing, we know how well Minecraft is doing, but the why they are doing so well is because of a strong cultural difference in how North Americans view video games and their idea of what gaming means to them. I am trying to remain impartial here, but in my experience of playing multiple games on multiple platforms competitively, playing in Challenger, visiting Korea to play this game, League of Legends, I believe that North American players don't really care about winning as much as the other regions. And if they do, they aren't really putting in the work. Also, being a gamer in North America, streamer or otherwise, isn't seen as something to take seriously. In all of my years streaming professionally, even when I did finally make enough money to escape Reddit mod levels of poverty, my mom would still ask me, "Mark, when are you gonna get a real job?" And you'd think with all of this talk of Fortnite millions and gamers appearing on talk shows, more people would know what Twitch is. But the next time you are on a flight, go ahead and ask your neighbor if they know about live streaming video games. I am willing to bet a lot that they will not have any idea of what that is. Now, I know this video is sounding a lot like a nice excuse to say, my NA mental team is holding me back. But there's actually another major infrastructural reason for our inability to perform at our best. It is extremely disadvantageous to play on this server. In order to explain this, I think it's important to use a good server like Korea's to make this point. So, South Korea is a pretty small country, but like Europe West population, the server more than doubles the active League of Legends players when compared to NA server. This means Korean network infrastructure only has to account for a much smaller landmass when compared to North America. So now imagine trying to put someone in my home state of Maine into a lag-free game versus someone, say, in Southern California. Now imagine putting 10 players in a game of League of Legends from all parts of the North American continent. Good luck, have fun. As a result, due to the requirements of needing 10 players, and specifically in the case of ranked, needing 10 of similarly skilled ranked competitors, you can see and imagine why RIOT doesn't even try to make a West Coast and an East Coast server. population limitations are already making high elo matches have really freaking long queue times, and so splitting the population would obviously make that experience worse. So, we have a smaller player base of NA casual players playing League of Legends on 30 to 110 ping. But what about your favorite NA team's international performance? Well, there is one point that I think needs to be addressed. This is a reason brought up a lot in this discussion, so I need to address it. Basically, both the NA League Championship Series, the LCS, and the League European Championship, the LEC, used to use a best-of-3 format for their competitive matches, but due to viewership issues and quite frankly the financial overhead of these operations, both teams decided that it was in their best interest if they just moved to a best-of-1 format. Since this is my channel and my opinions are the best, I will just say that the LEC region, the European region, has no problem playing at the level of the international competition, so I am not quite sure that the excuse of, well, we get to play less games and that's why we're bad flies. However, that said, there is a bit of an argument for the fact that it is very difficult for NA LCS teams to feel comfortable fielding newer talent from, say, the Academy Leagues in a best-of-1 series, when if you are wrong, you fuck up the results of your team's season for an entire year. Also, the LCS is NA's only real big competitive opportunity in the entire region. If you compare NA versus EU further, you'll notice that there definitely appears to be quite a bit more competitive opportunities for teams to practice and develop and experience tournament tempo League of Legends all over the place over there. So yeah, definitely a bit of an issue. So, while in a perfect universe, NA players and coaches would love to play more official 5v5 matches for the practice and the reps, it is the sad truth that it is not sustainable in this market at this time. But then again, if that were the only excuse, then EU would not be so far ahead of us anyways. So in my opinion, meh. At the end of the day, NA ever being an international victor, at least for League of Legends, is, in my opinion, a very unlikely proposition. I'd say the era of North American international success in this video game is long gone. Even if you've imported the best talents from all over the world, which we've kind of tried, into the glorious United States. Assuming that, these imports were allowed to enjoy the right to bear arms, shop Walmart, and eat Five Guys, these players will quickly lose their edge. Solo queue is, at its core, a league player's primary basketball court, playing on 60 to 80 ping versus lesser skilled players, also at a latency disadvantage, who are simply unmotivated about the actual results of the game because their favorite streamer isn't motivated about the actual results of the game, and he's on 100 ping telling his fans that they shouldn't try that hard. It's just not the best space right now for min-maxing gameplay. When I play ranked on the League of Legends NA server, it is like there are two games being played. There's one game, called League of Legends, where we find out who the best is at this video game, and the other is called Ego of Legends, where players come up with their own idea of winning the game. I.e., I am not trying XDs, I just want this guy to lose, or trying to get this guy reported. When that mental shutdown happens, you can really feel it. It would take a whole other video outside the scope of what I do as a content creator to explain why it happens, but if I were to speculate, it likely has to do with how common worship is in all forms in our culture, at least in the United States where I can sort of speak from experience. Whether it's religion or politics or even streamers, there is no denying that we have a fan culture, some fandemonium, unlike any other. The most popular streamers often aren't top-tier competitive players even in the most popular games like Fortnite. It's all about entertainment. It's all about blind fandom to entertainers with emotional instability, which is actually quite far from the reality of the types of people that have historically performed at the highest levels of play in any of these esports. Not to mention, since we are often playing on high ping, our opposition simply gets to play a smoother game, which, let's face it, a 10 ping experience on any game feels like night and day. These players literally have access to a smoother game of League of Legends that they get to practice on at all times. So, to close, while we in the United States do kick ass at many things, Our cultural preference for casual gaming, a very difficult internet infrastructure problem, and an undying love for very non-competitive content ultimately means that this time next year, you will be seeing Doublelift telling Travis in a post-match Worlds interview saying that he will be back next year. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you want to see more like it. Peace, crackers.